All right, so what is for today?
We're ready.
We're ready. So let's move forward. So how are you, Katrina?
I'm doing good. How are you, Cesar?
Very good, very good. So we're discussing today for this coming Sunday, the word of distress.
Last week we talked about abandonment and feeling that God has left us.
Yes.
But actually what we should be doing is drawing closer to Him and be patient. How are you going to differ the word of distress this week from feeling abandoned from last week?
The word of distress means is that you are like upset in some point after you felt abandoned. I'll take that word in a different way because Jesus says, I'm thirst. If Jesus, who was God, because the Gospel of John 1:1 says, well, the Word was there, and the Word was God. And the Word is God, so it means that Jesus was at the beginning of the creation. How God, who created the oceans, who fell apart the Dead Sea where the Israel people crossed in that dry land, how that God was asking for water because he was thirsty. The distress, I thirst, means he's going to give us, yes, you feel thirst, like a physical thirst, but there is another way that you feel thirst. And I am the one who can supply that thirst.
There's actually a lot more to that simple little phrase, I am thirsty, than just those 3 words. There's so many people who are looking to quench their thirst in ways that are not good. And how this I am thirsty and how Jesus is the living water, that's where they should be looking, not in these other places that are wrong.
Not everything begins on the cross. It begins way before. When he was on the Pilate and the palace, Pilate's palace, and they said, well, you have to go on that. So they gave, it was away from that palace to Golgotha. And he fell once. I don't know if you remember. He fell once and someone approached him and tried to give him something to drink, and he refused.
Yes.
Because he had a purpose. His goal was, I have to go there. I have to climb that mountain, and I have to be crucified. I have to die. The title of the sermon is the 2 S's. It's a weird title, so struggle and shame. Because we struggle and we feel shame. And Jesus, he felt the same thing before he was on the cross. So he got the mission, he got the purpose. So when he got there and he asked, I'm thirst. Just those simple words, I'm thirst, means that everything behind or everything before is something that refers to us today. Then in some point, no matter what, we're gonna pass it through, but on the cross, we're gonna be free.
Steve Furtick, who does this book, he tells us that there's a purpose in our pain, just like in Jesus' suffering on the cross. But when you're going through that suffering and pain, it's really, really hard to see that.
When Jesus says, I thirst, means, hey, you're going to be thirsty. But another physical thirst is just the spiritual thirst. Well, we thirst with depression, we thirst of anxiety, we thirst for so many things. So how we can pass, knowing and recognize that no matter what, Jesus worked with us, and he passed for the same situation that we are passing throughout. So how we can move forward, focus on Jesus' face, focus that he died for us, focus that his grace is better than anything else, and that help us, that sustain us to pass that situation in our lives.
I know it's a big topic to cover, and it's not something we can cover in these few minutes that we have today. I hope everybody comes on Sunday to hear more about this message, because I think everybody has pain and suffering in some respect and needs to hear this message.
Just bring anything that you would thirst, and see how we can cover and those thirsty and this coming Sunday. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katrina.